actually rise above. It's like you now sit with yourself and take responsibility for what's happening here. Jesus did it. You don't have to save the whole world. Jesus already did it, okay? And he's enough, okay? You need to take care of you. The more you take care of you, the easier it is. From that overflow, others will benefit. But first, this cup must fill. This cup must fill. So this is how we rise above. It can be chaotic out there. I promise you now, I know lots of people that are thriving, and the difference is in attitude. It's in doing this internal work. I've got friends that are getting jobs, that are getting raises in the middle of a quarantine and a pandemic like this. It's like, it shouldn't be the case. But of course, we serve an amazing God. We serve a powerful God who's given us promises, The problem or the trick is that a lot of us just say these promises. We leave them on Sunday at the pulpit. We leave them there while we are gathered amongst our brethren and sisters, right? We leave them there. But when you get into the taxi, then you take your stuff. Then you are like this throughout the world. Then you're putting that energy out. And then you expect your life to be beautiful. You can see it makes no sense. It's nonsensical. It's not a judgment. It doesn't make sense. So it's a gift, but it's like a seed, but you must sit with it and nurture it. And let me tell you, God feels good. Everything that comes from God feels good. Every time you do and you find yourself feeling ugly or feeling depressed, it's an indication that you have been mulling over things that are not true. They are not in alignment with what God thinks of you. When you look through the Bible, God has promises galore. We have no justification for our fear, our playing small, moving through the world, shrinking ourselves. We cannot justify any of that kind of behavior. Usually that's stuff that comes from other people, that comes from other perceptions out there. So then we move through the world and we start shrinking ourselves. I promise you now, this season is saying, rise up, Phoenix, rise up. Life can no longer tolerate you playing small. We need you. We need you to fill every space you want. Fill yourself first. When you move into a space, have that confidence. And what I like to call it, have that Godfidence. I promise you now, when I don't have the power and the strength to move through the world, God is there. God is there. So when I feel like I can't do it, I always have confidence, and it comes with me at every second. God is pouring love. The Bible says Jesus is closer than a brother. In other words, he's there all the time, pouring, supporting. Why do we not sense it? We don't think we are worthy. First problem, we don't think we're worthy. Secondly, no, kibo Lira are blessed. Borona so, my father left. No, Pastor Arabang, when is wrong. I don't know, whatever excuses you will use. God loves us so deliciously, so exquisitively, and he doesn't care. He understands we make mistakes, but we are the ones that bash ourselves, right? That bash ourselves with our mistake. You bash yourself. You literally beat yourself to a pulp. God is forgiving you because he understands being human is not the easiest thing on the world. And so he sits there, he loves you, and he would like all of us to be a bit kinder to ourselves, a bit gentle to ourselves. When your child, all of you have children, when your child is learning to walk, you don't say, hi man, children have existed all of these years. You don't go bashing your child. You're nurturing, you understand. The child, I had a friend of mine who was 2 years old. She used to say, I'm going to tell my mother, you don't want to pick me up. 2 years old, wasn't walking. But do you think the mother was sitting there judging the child? No, the mother is encouraging. So understand that God loves you the same way you would love your own child. So take it easy on yourself, sister. Pour some love into yourself. Pour some kindness into yourself. When you do these things, you start to bring a lot of peace into your physical body. You start to relieve pain and discomfort in your physical body. And then dis-ease tends to leave your body. You have, you will be guided naturally to start eating a bit healthier, you know, because you're listening, you're in tune. You will realize, yes, every time I'm unkind to so-and-so, kinna safarang. If I'm sitting there and skin renka so kinna safarang, because ejamo. So you begin to be a lot gentler and you know, you work with yourself because you work with your feelings. God, spirit works with feelings. Spirit truly works with feelings. That's why you must be in tune. And so you will learn to start eating better. And it happens almost naturally, just because you're paying attention. The next thing you know, when you start feeling better, now you have the confidence to start that business or to start reevaluating your business or your career. Now you have the guts to go towards that opportunity that you've been putting in the back burner. So it's a very holistic, you know, whatever you do inside will affect all of your life. All of your life. And the beauty is that you never have to do it alone. God lives in you. God lives in you, expresses within you. So trust that. I promise you, God takes care of your relationship needs, your health needs, financial needs, career needs, as long as you are honest and you know that you are worthy of receiving all this assistance and love from God. All of those things now begin to appear in your life. You become a better person, not for others, for you first and foremost. And once you are shining there, then people then say, then people start wondering, ako njwetse manyew. Wena ujaeng, ukena kai. Meanwhile, you're taking responsibility. You're opening yourself up for life to love and guide you. So this is how we fundamentally rise above. Be honest with yourself. Examine yourself. Be with yourself. Sit with yourself. Face your stuff. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You know, often when you speak to your God and your maker, khuluma naye as if you're talking to a friend. Like a friend, just really be honest. Say, I'm confused. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to want. Please help me understand. I know you're a loving God. I know life loves me. I know you want me to prosper. I know you want me to be at my best. I can feel the call. I can feel the pull. Show me. I don't know how to. But please show me. I'm making myself available to being guided. I'm making myself available to hear, cleanse my heart, cleanse my ears. I'm here. I'm like this. You will be amazed. God answers and speaks to all of us. So know that you are worthy. You are worthy. You deserve every beautiful and powerful and incredible thing that life has to offer. You deserve it. And sometimes things have to change so drastically for us to pay attention. This is an invitation, a grand invitation, a global invitation for us to be more authentic, for us to be who we are, for us to rise above, right? So whatever dream that you've put on the back burner, for whatever reason, you are being called now to look in that cupboard and say, oh my God, what part of me have I allowed to die? All of us are being called to. And what's beautiful is it's such a generous energy. It's happening for everyone. So you are not alone. Do not fear. Do not doubt. Please know, I cannot stress it enough. Please know this is your time. Please know you deserve it. Please know you can do it. Please know you are supported divinely, and ask for that support. Avail yourself to support other people, other women in particular. I'm a big fan of supporting local business, Black-owned business. It's a thing I'm passionate about. Why do I do this? I'm a Black-owned business. Me. And so if I want something done unto me, I'm doing it to others as well. So it's part of that. It's like if others flourish, I flourish too. If I flourish, others flourish as well. So, you know, and again, it's from overflow. You know, now that I've taken care of myself, I'm able to support others as well. And what does that do? It brings more abundance into your life.
Thank you very much, Miss Lira. It's time for us to just reevaluate our lives and know that everything that happens to us happens for us. So let's do away with the victim mentality and see opportunities, because opportunities are out there. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to ask the first question to Miss Lira. As an organization, we believe that each one of us is created for a specific purpose, and a life well lived is a life lived to its purpose. But in fulfilling one's purpose, there are hurdles along the way. The year 2020 on its own is one big hurdle. But regardless, we must rise above it all and fulfill the purpose that we have been created for. In your view, how do we do that as women of purpose?
Well, I think my whole rant earlier was really speaking to this. It really, for me, the most tangible way, that's the most powerful way to weather any kind of storm in life really starts within. I love God, I love spirit, and how I live my spirituality in the world, I almost do it neutrally because I never want to exclude anyone. My spirituality is very much the cornerstone of my music. And I didn't call it gospel because, again, I didn't want to exclude anyone. I wanted the teachings to come across without excluding anyone. You know, I used to be an accountant, and I gave that up to pursue my passion. And the reason I did that was because I was so unfulfilled. You know, I was doing so well at work, but something wasn't right, man. I couldn't tell what was going on. And I remember saying to God, I just want to be happy. You know, I feel miserable through life, and I'm a little nervous about living my whole life being unfulfilled. And so I said, you know, I literally had a very passionate, very angry prayer with God. And I said, well, how do you give gifts and not give platforms for these gifts to express? Like, it didn't make sense to me. Why would you give me a gift? What am I supposed to do with it? Because what happens is that my whole life, this gift does this. It gnaws at me, says, pay attention to me. It's like a child wanting, you know? So then I was very upset with God, and I was like, it doesn't make sense. I'm in a world that tells me I can't follow my passion. And so I wrote a very angry letter to God, but I was like, I demand answers. And one day, God announced himself, but sometimes I like to say herself, as love, as this powerful feeling of love. Now, remember, I was feeling lost, I was feeling empty, and this feeling that God is filled me up in a way that no money, no possessions, no man, no nothing can fill me up. Suddenly, I just felt whole and full. I was like, oh my God, is this who you are? And so from that foundation, that basis, I was given something that I wanted to share in the world. I wanted that feeling to be awakened through music. I wanted everyone that listens to my music to feel something, because if you can feel that sensation, which we all have, which is God, of course, God lives within all of us. So my mission was that if I can be on stage, do my thing, and it awakens the God in you, then I trust that God will do the rest in you. So my job at every show is to awaken that spirit once again. And then I trust God to do the rest. So my purpose is to just align to be at service. So this is the core of what I do. Now, how do I make a living out of this? I was like, God, I'm going to leave that one to you, please. Now, God taught me how to deal with money. The first thing was to know that I'm worthy. Worthiness. A lot of us don't think we're worthy. We don't think we deserve it. And we think the root of evil, money is the root of all evil. No, without money, you can't build your church. You can't have internet. You can't have the phone. You can't have Zoom. You can't be here right now. You need money. And money can be a blessing. Money is a blessing. It's a beautiful flowing energy. God taught me that in as much as I want to tithe and take care of others, God says you also pay your 10% lapa side. Believe it or not, lapa side to this one. Says, me and you are fine. Will you please take care of yourself with your own money? before you go giving money to everybody, because typically you work hard all month. You're the one waking up, doing all these things the whole month. First thing that does, everybody takes their cut, right? But you've been doing the work. Everybody takes their cut. And then yes, you're supposed to give to your God, but how you give, God cares more about how you give rather than what you give. So God then taught me in terms of dealing with money that as you receive your money, bless yourself, pay yourself, acknowledge yourself with your own money. I was like, really? Yes, pay yourself first as well. Bless others. And how you give that money, don't do it out of obligation. Don't do it because pastor said. No, understand, you do it from the heart. Really fuel that money that you give from the heart. That is more value than anything else. And also give in ways that you care about. Let's say there's a building fund. If you care about this, now fuel your energy there. Don't do anything that weighs you down with your money. Don't do that. So again, it's energies. These, how you do things is far more important than what you do. Far more important. So then I learned how to deal with money. Okay, then I learned to trust myself and my gift. Now that's building confidence. That there are tons of people that are more successful or better talented than I am, but nobody can beat me at being me. My best thing in the world is being Lira. Nobody can do that better. So then these are the practical ways now of how one starts to hone these little things. So then that includes my little quirks. I'm very animated. Just your stuff, man. Stuff that makes you. Right? Your little quirks. So embrace those, because those are what shapes you. That's what sets you apart. And now let those things shine. So as soon as I did that, I promised, and then also adjusting my head to understanding that I deserve success. I deserve it. I did the work, I showed up, and then success started to show up. And so now I was able to treat the money properly, treat my talent properly, treat my body properly. So it's always a holistic approach. And that's really at the basis of it. So that's how I practicalize spirituality. It's lifestyle. It's not a Sunday thing. It's a way one chooses to move in the world through life as well. And I love it because I'm never alone. I'm never without counsel. I'm never without company. I love spirit. And as you can see as well, I'm also very unconventional with it. It's fun. It's not a burden. Homunati.
Thank you. I think with that answer, very extensively answered, I think you've answered most of the questions that the ladies had prepared. So I'm gonna just perhaps ask one more question, and this is related now to the theme and the theme song of this conference, Rising Above. Having looked at the theme song, which relates to the theme of today, the song Rise Again, can you please share the background meaning of the song? How did it come about? Is there a story behind it?
There is. It's a long story. I'm going to try and... So when I quit my job in accounting and started music now, I remember writing this letter to God saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do the next 5 years, and I expect you to meet me halfway. I'm quitting my job. I'm going to show up for this dream that I want. I was signed into a record label quite easy. I was on my birthday, very easy. But then I was stuck in a very ugly circumstance in that I was exploited. Everybody knows my 999 story. It was dreadful. It was one of the hardest spiritually cracking. It gave birth to me that time. I felt like a huge part of me died through that experience. However, in retrospect, I realized that what I was asking for from life, the kind of success that I wanted, I was not ready. Who I was did not match what I wanted. And that experience was the proper education, university, and training to get me to grow in character, to meet the woman I needed to be, to match the desires that I was after. So again, everything that happens to you happens for you. And so I realized that, like I said, it was the lowest. I almost felt like I was dragging my soul beneath the tar. I was beneath the ground. That's how low I felt. But it cracked me so hard. It gave me the perfect circumstance to break something in me. Like my potential was cracked open right then in one of the hardest times of my life. So when it feels like you fall, you're going to come up again. It's a gift. It is a gift. So the trick is to weather the storm and truly understand. And now, of course, when I go through dips, I don't lose my mind anymore. I'm understanding, oh, okay, it's that season again. Buckle up. But it's just a season. It's a time for growth again. So Rise Again came from that space, is that once I understood that I was developing, I was growing, I was becoming the woman that I was dreaming of becoming, that experience was giving me that opportunity. So I say maybe we fall so we can watch and experience ourselves begin to rise again. Because once you've risen, you get a sense of self-respect, like you trust yourself, you know, there's certain things now you walk with a lot more confidence because yeah, you've been through stuff. So now you trust yourself. So you're no longer easily shaken. So, and these things come in season, you must understand. And if you've gotten through this hurdle, you have to grow. So the next hurdle will be a bit harder than the one before. Because guys, we're growing. Otherwise, why are you still here? If you're done growing, you have to leave. You have to leave planet Earth. That's just how it goes. No, if you're done, that's just how it goes. But then the trick is not to fight with your life. Be in harmony with the things that come into your life. Understand that truly, truly life is working for you, that life loves you, God loves you, you are lovable, you're worthy. And so when you go through that thing, it's because you need it. You will always rise again.
Beautiful, beautiful. There's just some key things that I just want to reflect on, Lira, that you mentioned. Sure, it's amazing. Rising above, be a purpose. What part of me have I let down to die? Sure, that is key. That is just so key. It's time for introspection.
Mm-hmm.
Am I fulfilled? Am I flourishing? Or am I stagnant where I am? And if I'm stagnant, what am I doing about it?
What am I going to do about it? Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I like one of your songs, Be About It. I love it. Yeah. So what are you doing about it? And then feel the space. Have Godfidence. I like that, and that's how you occupy the space. Without that confidence, you can't. And this season is telling us it's time to rise up.
Absolutely.
It's time to rise up. Be honest with yourself. I like the fact that you say pour some love and kindness into yourself. Pay yourself, take care of yourself. We hardly do that. We take care of other people.
Exactly.
I think I'm one of those, you just focus on others. Giving, you give. It's good to give, but you also must receive. And if you have to receive from yourself, then let it be. Receive. You have to
set the tone.
Yeah. Everything that happens to you happens for you. This is just so profound. And just the last questions that I just want to pose to you. I think that was, Sisters Helping Hand hosts a monthly virtual book club with the aim to learn, encourage, and empower. Can you recommend your favorite books for us to consider in a book club? And then the last one would be, what can we expect from Lira from now on? And can you just talk about that Barbie Lira for 2 seconds?
I wish I had it here. I read so much. I love books. I read so much. It's called Women Who Run with Wolves.
Okay.
it'll stretch your boundaries a little bit, but it's necessary. This book speaks about all the things that women have conformed themselves to that come from society, excuse me. So it's little ancestral things that we've just tolerated, and we accept them, and so they limit us, you know. And so it also it provides a nice toolkit as to how now to check yourself. Oh, where am I playing small because I'm culturally it's expected, or to start identifying the areas in which you are limiting yourself. I love tradition, I really do, but there are moments where it stops serving the individual, you personally. I think it'll be it's a wonderful read. And if I may just add another second one that will make one's relationship with God a bit more fun, is Conversations with God. It's just a delicious book. It's delicious to the soul as you read it. It's by Neil Donald Walsh as well. But so those are those two. Now coming back, let me just think what else you asked me. Coming back, you asked me about the Barbie. So when I started my music career, and you can imagine now I'm getting through a process of self-acceptance, looking myself, you know, really getting comfortable in my own skin. Now at the time when I was starting music, girls with beautylicious African bums and light skin and long hair were the it thing. That was the ideal beauty. Here comes this dark-skinned, skinny girl with short, natural hair. Everything in the industry was like, this is not beautiful. You've got to do something with your hair. And the problem fundamentally with me, who's somebody who's trying to move through the world with being authentic, like really loving what God made of me, it would contradict that if I went and sort of did things that were hiding or denying, because I'm going through introspection now. So I knew that if I, not that there's nothing wrong with wigs, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I realized for me personally, it was a form of hiding, a form of self-rejection. So I couldn't do that. But in the back of my mind, there was that thing, it's going to be harder to make it if you don't conform. But anyway, I was like, I'm going with God. So, and so I built this career. I remember a big brand that used to use celebrities to advertise in their stores. They invited me. Now I was building a bit of success, and they were inviting me to be a part of this campaign. And they said to me, Lira, we'd love to work with you, but could you please wear a weave? And I said, no, but I'm not a model. I'm Lira. As Lira, this is how I look. If you want me to wear a weave, it means that you are just looking for a black girl. A model models, you know, she's supposed to do whatever the client requires, but I am Lira, and I'm building a brand here. So I said, I appreciate they were going to pay me so much money. And I said, I appreciate it, but no, thank you. And so they went away. And so these are some of the things that I've had to do in my career to honor the mission that it was really just for myself to say, I'm enough, guys, I'm enough. Me writing. So that's really all I was trying to push. And so even the clothes that I wore was celebrating African designers. And even to this day, you know, all my stuff is sort of handmade, because I love that. I'm supporting other businesses because I can see myself in them. Anyway, fast forward, I've lost a lot of opportunities along the way just because of how I chose to carry myself. Fast forward, but then at the same time, I've broken many boundaries. There was a year I was in 12 international magazines on the cover because of all this. International magazines in America, in Ireland, in different parts of America, in London. And then that same year, I was on the Forbes cover as well as the Bona cover all in 1 month. It never happens in a local market that you have one artist in 2 magazines at the same time. So a lot of amazing things were happening because I was choosing to be authentic. So again, making an impact means that sometimes you have to have guts. There's some opportunities that will fly by. So now, fast forward, Barbie calls me and say they would like to make. Now, I can promise you now, there was never a time when I imagined a doll, because when you think of a doll, you think of hair. A doll, you know, in dolls, right? Nowhere in my wildest dreams did I think something like this would be possible. So the Barbie doll just affirmed me for all that I stand for. Being African, being enough, being excellent, being brilliant, being beautiful, being natural. All of these things were packed in this. I mean, they're all the way in LA. They picked me out of all of Africa. I was very validated. I was very validated. So that's what it reflects to me. And this is, again, what I'm saying is that when you do the internal work, like, just your path becomes your purpose. You know, just the flavor of life becomes something entirely different. It requires you to spend that time with yourself. It requires courage. It requires Godfidence. You must really move in this world with a sense of gaitseba, you know, and I'm not alone and I'm not afraid. It requires that energy. So be present, be bold, be big. And life then starts to meet you with amazing opportunities that affirm everything that you stand for. Fear not. You are loved beyond words. Beyond words. I cannot stress that enough. And imagine, and think about it. If you believed and trusted how much love you have, would you behave and move through the world as you do? A lot of us are afraid, guys. We don't even know what you're afraid of. Utaba Mang at their age is doing what. Please stay in your lane. Nobody can beat you at being you. You can use others for inspiration. But be yourself. Have the courage to just be yourself. So know that you are valid. The reason you exist is because you are needed. God needs you to exist. And now you exist through your unique abilities, your ideas, your quirks, your way of thinking. It's needed. And so step up, be heard, be seen. Allow yourself to be seen. Let your ideas flourish and shine. Maybe you have the newest way of doing business or whatever little quirks. Don't be afraid of your craziness. Stand in it. Be confident in it. You have to be unique. You're unique for a reason. God doesn't make mistakes. Even twins are never the same. And it's because you are required to let your unique light shine.
Yeah. You were validated because you validated yourself first.
Thank you. Thank you. And it's beautiful. You know, you don't do it for others. It's just for your own journey. And then it just overflows. Naturally starts to overflow.
Wow. And what can we expect from Lira?
Firstly, a much more happier woman. I love to be happy. Ndim, Jeso, Batum. I will never compromise that again. I will never ever allow my happiness to take the back seat again. My job now, my existence, it's about being joyful, being more loving, and expressing all my crazy ideas, and not being afraid of just, so I'm going to surprise a few people. It's okay. I understand. I'm having fun. I'm loving my life. I understand. I'm giving you a disclaimer now.
I'm sure from now we're going to sit in our own corners and do some introspection and really see where does God want me to go, and it should be more about what He says than what everybody else is saying. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Arabang, just to reiterate, God will not give you a burdensome, as in something that's going to be heavy. God is delicious. Like it's oh my God, the path that He takes you to, you will feel light, you will live in abundance, there'll be love, there'll be support, there'll be opportunity, there'll be fun, there'll be expansion. You just have to have the courage to just keep following one little step at a time. And mind you, God gives you guidance for what you need, like your daily bread. That's a very good analogy. You are always giving your daily bread. So what you need right now, you will always have. Don't worry too much about concerns that are too far off. Trust your daily bread every single day. Now that means you live with faith. It means that, because you can imagine, it means when you let go of worry is burdensome. It's unhealthy. It's God says, be of good cheer. There are so many verses in the Bible that emphasize the need for you not to worry. Jesus spoke of the birds don't worry. The birds don't sit there and plan until this feeling. So it's like we resist. We have so much love, but we resist the support, because normal life is like this way. God is inviting us to live the way God wants us to live. It means that you break the rules. It means that you go off the normal course, as it were. It means that you chart a new course. It means that you set a new example, and it requires trusting yourself. It requires courage. It requires that confidence. So know that path will be fulfilling. It'll be fun. It'll be light. It'll be supported. It'll be beautiful. It'll be beautiful. And you deserve it. Why? It's not just for the Oprah of this world. Girl, I promise you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure.
Lira. We had a fabulous time.
Fantastic, ladies.
I'm sure I can see the comments. We are all on the same page. I don't see questions because I think you've addressed a whole lot of stuff. We have so much, so much to take and reflect on. And thank you so much for taking time to be with us.
It's a pleasure.
This helping hand, we appreciate it. Yeah. That's all we can say.
Ultimately. And I think on a parting note, none of us is above or beneath anyone. We really stand. We all here. The problem is that we don't. He says so, but we don't want to stand toe to toe. So understand, Ratswana, nobody's above or beneath you. And so move like that now. Really wear that, man. That's what I challenge you. When you close your computer, adorn something different.
Okay? Confidence.
Yeah, wear different coat of skin.
Yeah.
Wear different coat of skin. No more of this. No more self-doubting. Just do it. You have nothing to, yeah, man. I want to see all the ladies, especially the ones with the videos. Come, you just let's adorn this vibe. Yes, girl. Yes.
Yes. I can see the videos coming out.
Yes. So this is what we're doing now. This is how we move in the world, because we know who we are. We know whose we are. So now adorn it. Really wear it every single day. Put on that coat of armor. Really, and it doesn't matter what quality of clothes you might think you're wearing. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about your inner being. Really move in this world in a powerful way. Just do it.
Thank you.